This is Justin AMZN. On Thursday, June 28th, 2018, taking a look at the pre-market. We started above this 1665. We dropped down below it. Now we're back above it. This kind of looks like a double bottom here with the sell-off from yesterday, bouncing down again. The neckline up here, a little bit of a accumulation here. And we'll see if we continue to chop around in this level, move up, move down, what'll happen. I was just talking yesterday about having a much larger gap down on the daily and getting into a bit of a triangle pattern that we had. It wasn't last month. We can go back to the data and take a look, but we're definitely not gapping down, not massively at least. The open could still jump way down here and gap down, but right now it looks like it's actually gapping up and looks like it'll open near a level that was trading yesterday. Actually, near a lot of these levels in here. I just don't have more of these lines drawn in there. These are some incredible moves these last couple of days, just up and down and well, down, then up, then down, and I thought we were going to just continue down today. With a big gap down and then see where things go. But, having this open relatively close to yesterday's close is just kind of surprising. It actually, it's more bullish than I expected and more even, more sideways than I expected it to be, even though the last 3 days have been, bearish, bullish, bearish. We've been in that range, but it's a range from way down here around 1660, 1650, back up to 1710, 1715, something like that. So huge range, 2-3% range, and definitely makes trading, day trading, that much more interesting. So let's step into the day and see what happens. Oh, wasn't quite there. There we go. All right, so we have a candle that opens up near these near these pre-market highs, sells off, and at some point looks like a very strong bearish candle. Looks like it'll close below the 1665 price, just like this candle, just like this candle. But this one actually makes a pretty massive lower wick and gets bought up. Now this is a larger volume than we had yesterday, with a rally into the open. Today we had a rally into the open. It just wasn't as large as, it wasn't as high as yesterday's. So we're still down here. This looks a little bit bullish at this level. A bounce at this level with that kind of candle. That's something where you could actually set it up to have a 5-minute close at like 1675 by 1660. Very conservative to do that. I would much rather say, okay, let's wait for a smaller candle and get a little more aggressive. So let's see what happens next. We actually would have almost had a close above, but not quite. It looks like the close on this one is 1674.30. And so 1675, because it actually gets above these levels, gets above this, but right now we are having the same people who sold up in here yesterday selling again today and pushing it back down. So it makes sense that that would happen at that location. We have a really nice bounce off of our support line. So we'll see what else happens if we interact with this. But this is a really nice candle. Looks like it'll go higher, but it's really just a huge candle. Too large for me to trade with. This is an inside bearish candle. Okay. This looks like a little bit of a breakdown here. We had a two candle consolidation stair step, and then it's dropping. And I'm sure there's a lot of people jumping in bearish right here. It's just, again, really huge candles. And we didn't actually get a close below that wick, which is kind of what I'd want to see in either direction. Going bearish below that, going bullish above that. And, it's just so huge of a range that it's moving. I mean, all of this in the last hour or so of yesterday is the whole range we're hitting today at the open in the first 20 minutes. I mean, that took an hour to get through, and it was, kind of a sell-off with an S-curve and then a sell-off, a rollover. And this is just kind of chopped through here. Could be a bit of an S-curve, but it's just really, really tight on the day on that range. So go to the next candle, and we have a really strong bounce off of this level or off of the low. So We got 3 wicks down in here, which is a great place to buy. People were buying here yesterday. We sold off into that level. We had an incision right here. All of that was in the range of these candles, or actually slightly below if you are looking at these. But you know, anybody who was shorting here, they're now getting hosed. They're getting trapped. Whatever their stop was, you know, they're losing almost. You know, if their stop was way up here, they're down, you know, a good portion of their risk. If their stop was here, they're already out. Maybe have some slippage because that moved quickly. So this is the first candle we got that actually closes above 16.75, but it did by 11 cents. Barely got over it. And we still have the same upper wicks up in this area from people selling off in here. So I'm still waiting. This supports this larger accumulation here, and just intraday having the same sort of same kind of accumulation, just much quicker. Upper wick again, smaller candle, inside candle, nice one. Okay, so this is a candle that I would say, okay, this is much smaller. This is the size of candle I want, but it's just not a great location. I would kind of say if you wanted, you could go bullish above this 1681 with a 5-minute close above it, and your stop is down at like 1672. So you know, $9 risk to make that trade, but you know, if you get above these wicks, these bearish candles, you're trapping all of the bears in the day with a close higher, and that could just really rally. That could run up. You know, we're in this consolidation that we broke down yesterday, so you know, it stands to reason we could break down again today with these upper wicks. So the other trade would be, you know, getting below here, just a movement below it, not at a close, and stop up here, and then take profit down at this level. Take everything, or take most of it, and then hold on to a little bit to go past or to roll over completely. But we still have the support here, and we got some lower wicks, so you know, it isn't really looking like it's going to push bearish right now. So you may be in on that bearish trade, and comes down here, almost touches that line. Looks like it's going to bounce. You know, you're right around break even now. So right now you're moving your stop down to probably here, or even here if you're really aggressive. And maybe you got stopped out. Maybe you're still in. Hopefully move to stop to just right here. Then with that candle, you know, you tighten up your stop. It's an indecision candle. You want it to roll over, and it rolls over. And now it looks like it's bouncing again, right at 1665. And so, I mean, this would have been a good trade to say, okay, I'm just going to buy it at that level. I'm going to sell. I'm going to get out of my bearish position. I'm going to buy the bullish position at this level and just flip it and see if we can actually bounce off of this. Because, you know, we had this one candle close, but then we bounced right off of it. So you could actually buy here with a stop down here. So like a $5 risk, 1665 by 1660, and or maybe a couple cents lower. But anyway, it's you know, it's a really good risk to reward. You're already up in R, and I mean that same trade, had you gotten in here, well, not on this candle, but if you gotten in on this one, I mean that would have been 2R already, or no, 3R already up to here. Now you're up another R here. And it looks like it's bouncing. So this is a nice candle. This small candle, it's got a little bit of a pullback, but not, or just a pullback from the wicks. But I mean, this is the highest close we had on the 5-minute. This pulls back, retests a little bit of this, you know, double bottom here with a neckline, and this looks like a bullish engulfing, and it pushes the next close higher. So we've got upper wicks, so you could tighten up your stop below this candle, like here, or even up here, looking for it to continue up. We've got a squeeze that's forming, and all right, so that's a nice candle with where we actually broke out above, but we need to pull back a little bit. This could be some pullback. I want to see a little bit more, and then for it to go up. So there you go. There's a little bit more pullback. You got this lower wick here that's somewhat bouncing off these areas, definitely bouncing off of this triangle here. And more people loading up, you know, getting in bullish with the lower wick here, but people are selling. People are trapped. Anybody who is short with a stop up here, you know, they may be buying to close the position. And a nice inside candle, and now we're breaking out bullish. So this is a really nice, you know, 25-minute stair step where it's just going sideways, and now it's actually continuing up. Oh, that's a phenomenal candle. Look at that. up into a high wave candle. In this range, I'm looking left to see what am I actually touching in this range. We had some indecision here, some stair stepping up here. Not too much pre-market. We've got a pullback on this candle that's got a similar lower wick to this one, and that ended up rallying. So, and then we had retests when it was rolling over up into this area, and we continued down. So right now, we've got a high wave candle, and we can definitely tighten our stop. But if you're in 1665 to 1660, you're up quite a bit, which is phenomenal. So you can just lock in the gains, back it in, and be all done. But if you're still trading it, then there's still opportunity out here. Almost made it up to 1700, didn't pull back a little bit. And again, there's not too much going on to the left. We're definitely in this range, and so we want to see some lower wicks if we're going to continue. You want to see a little more of an S curve here. Like this was an S curve, it just didn't get going, bullish. So if we have a sell-off and a rally, this could be the start of a sell-off here. But our squeeze is fired, and okay, so the very next candle we break down below that, and so that signals, okay, we got a little more bearishness to come in. Our squeeze has stopped, or I'm sorry, our squeeze count has stopped, so we don't have the squeeze going anymore. And then let's see what these lows are. Oh, that's a nice low. Look at that. Up to the left 2 days ago. That would be this area right here that it bounced. It's doing that again here. So it could bounce here, especially if we get above this candle. This looks like a shaved top. Open and the high are the same, shaved top candle. So wouldn't expect to get there too soon. Definitely have some consolidation here. Continue sideways a little bit, or forward a little bit, and it's just going sideways. Okay, this looks like a breakout. So you could have bought, when it was breaking out here above these highs. A really tight risk and reward, and we'll just see if it's going to continue up here or what's going to happen. And it looks like it's continuing. Okay, a little bit of pullback. Oh, some really small candles, but it does look like we've got kind of an upward trend here. And it looks like this is a bit of an S curve. People should have been buying here. It stopped down here. Now it's already moving up. This would have been a phenomenal one to trade tonight. Wow, look at that. Goes all the way up into the 17. Yeah, 1705. There you go. So this S curve could have been buying right here with a tight risk, and then that rallied up here. And then closing down the end of the day. Just some consolidation real close. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit on the 5 and just look at the last 4 days here. So we had the, below this line, we haven't touched this line, except for some consolidation above it, but we haven't touched it. So, we're right back up, really close to the same place that was at the open a couple days ago, just to show that level. I'm not going to move my line, but just to look at this level, look where the cursor is. This was a bit of a neckline here. There was a resistance here. It was definitely a resistance here, and it's a resistance today. So just by kind of zooming out a little bit and seeing, some value, some levels, so I guess we did kind of get above that on this. Let's see. Yeah, really nice consolidation in the close. It'd be really nice to see if we have another day that just rolls over. But looking at the 5 minute here, the amount that we rallied today is actually more than what we did 2 days ago. And then just like this sell-off, it was actually starting a little bit higher and actually pushed down through a support. But the range on this is similar to the ranges, the range from 2 days ago. So it seems like this is a small candle compared to this. I don't think the range is the same there, but just wanted to point out how we're interacting with the lines that are on here. But there's other lines that you could trade off of. So go ahead and draw those in where you see fit, that you like what they're doing at that level. It seems like mine are a little bit off. Like this line should be here, and this line should be maybe here or here. I don't know. I'm not sure where else to put them. So I'm good with where they are right now. And one other thing I wanted to show is that the sell-off we had yesterday took a while. from this point down to the close is what we retraced, from this up to here, and even a little bit higher. So we'll take a look at the options on that, but a very quick, or a slower bearish move and a quick bullish move. Kind of point bullish, a little more bullish today. So anyway, let me zoom in on the day and then we'll go take a look at our options. So if we had bought off of this level, so let's look at this one. This is 935. 935. We'll just leave that and then we'll just zoom in on this. 945. 935. So an indecision candle on an option, and you know, this is one that should have at the right time. That didn't seem. Oops. Oh, 935. Did I say 945? I might have. So 935 is this one. Yeah. So this one could have done, you know, 3 by 2, or you know, let's say 2.5 by 1.5, and then that would have rallied up to about 10. Maybe got out at 9. So you know, you got in at, what was it, 250? Got out at, let's say, 250 to 950. That's 7 right there. And then it pulled back and put in this great consolidation in this area, saying that, okay, come on and buy at the 6 and put a stop at a 5 and just hang out for the ride. So people were selling here, 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 and like all these sell-offs were people selling to get out of positions, maybe these even that they'd taken on during the day. But that would have been, you know, from, in this case, 5 up to, let's just call it 5 up to 12. No, not call it 12. To 11. So, you know, that would be a 6R move right there. So that's phenomenal. Looking at the calls, they were just losing value. I'm sorry, looking at the puts, they were just losing value. There isn't really too much to look at as this just got sold off. This had a little bit of a rally, but more a short leg and then just roll over. So, yeah, just try to see what else we can look at these levels. Something I do want to show. Let me see if I can switch back. Which button is it? Restore. Okay. So if we're looking at this bullish move and the calls are right here, you can see you got a bounce here at this level, rallies, and then it actually bounces in this level off of the exponential. That's all of this that you you could just let it. You could get in, it'll trade sideways, and it'll look like it's consolidating and then pop. And that's the kind of trade that we want to see. So you know, this one went sideways, it popped, then pulled back, and then popped again. And this is the one that moved, you know, a little bit more, not quite as much as this one, but a little bit more towards the end there, which would have been a nice one to grab. So we haven't looked at this view in a while. I've forgotten how to set it up, but it's pretty easy. But you know, a bit of a consolidation here, rally, retest, you know, S curve, and then continue on. So yeah, lots of things going on in here. It looks like on the daily, so let me, I wanted to maximize. Where's the max? There we go. So the daily, you know, these two and then these two, they, you know, they look like really important candles at this level to continue up. So what I was pointing out in the daily is if this is represented on the chart already, I thought it looked like this, where we'd have another gap down, but we don't. So that, it could actually be these with a little bit of merging these two, so you don't have a doji and another candle to kind of incorporate together. But anyway, so we didn't have a gap. Well, we did have a gap down. That was this gap down, and then we double bottomed. We gap down, double bottomed, and then ultimately we broke out. We tested. It's all of this here after this gap down that it just looks like it's rolling, but it does actually pull back and get a little bit of an S curve in there. on the daily, and we like trade mass curves on the hourly too. So hope this video is helpful. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.